So I wanted to share a couple ideas, simple strategies that you could use to get more referrals, gain access to hard to reach, very busy, influential people, shortening your sales cycle, if you're trying to recruit people to your organization, whatever you're trying to do, I'll show you some simple, one powerful idea that allow you to make things happen a lot quicker simply by adding more relationship capital and more connection currency. And I actually just wrote down a couple of quick examples of the last 24 hours of my life and just some simple things that I did to add value to people in my network. And I want you to ask yourself, are you and your team doing these things? Because if you're not, you're missing, in my opinion, the boat. Most people tend to do too much pitching of their product, their service all the time. And I just find if you are taking more of a servant leadership approach, if you are focusing on others, great things will happen. So let me just share a couple quick ideas. I bumped into Ron LeGrand over the weekend at a conference. Ron indicated to me he's going to be getting into launching an infomercial. So I asked him, did he know who Havas Edge was? He said he didn't. Havas Edge is the largest direct response marketing agency in the United States. So I introduced him to the person that runs the infomercial side of the business, and they're obviously the largest media buyers in that space. So that's a high value connection for someone like Ron. I was watching recently one of the Republican debates, and afterwards on Fox News I was watching the famous pollster Frank Luntz, and I went to Frank's Twitter stream, and he had some really unique insights I noticed about what's going on in the world of politics over the last month or two. And I think he had about 60 or 70,000 Twitter followers. So one of the things I did is I introduced him to someone that I know that has a service that can help people like him really grow their Twitter following and level of engagement. And so, again, high value connection. It's not like I even know the other person all that well. I just know he's got a tremendous service to grow Twitter followings by 2, 3, 4, 5, sometimes it's 10x. So I thought that would be a high value connection, so I sent that over to Frank. There was someone else in my network that recently lost their YouTube channel and it got shut down. So I introduced my friend Ray to my friend Tony, because my friend Tony knows the CEO of YouTube and a lot of the different executives at YouTube, and I thought maybe they could help each other out, maybe help him get his YouTube channel back. I was speaking at the GKIC conference for entrepreneurs over the weekend, and I met a gentleman who I could just tell was really passionate about what he does. I've seen him at multiple other conferences exhibiting, and I mentioned to him, you know, do you speak? And he mentioned that he doesn't speak that much, and he doesn't think he's got that much charisma, and I thought differently. So I sent him a simple video by my friend Steve Hardison, www.tbolitnfl.com, and really the power of the video in a nutshell is really about the power of someone's identity and their level of commitment. And I've sent that video to, hundreds of people, probably told thousands of people about it. But this one individual I just thought could use a little bit of a pick-me-up, and I forwarded that video to him. Again, simple, a lot of value. Another example of people in my network that I wanted to add more relationship capital to is the folks at CBS Radio. I'm going to be starting a podcast for them starting in January. And I have a friend, Seth Green, and he has a done-for-you podcasting service where, they edit the podcast, they transcribe the podcast, they put it on iTunes, they do all sorts of things that make it really easy for someone who's podcasting. So I sent literally 3 introductions, one to John Dumas, who's huge on podcasting, another to the folks at CBS, and another to my friend Jeff Hazlett, saying, hey, this guy's service could be of huge value to your C-suite network. Again, constantly just driving more relationship capital, adding more value to those in my network. And just the last 2 quick examples. I spoke to a long-term friend of mine, used to be a former client of mine, and we were on the phone. He now is running an insurance company, and one of the things I shared with him, he may want to consider doing podcasting to interview the kinds of clients he's targeting so he could go add more value back to those clients. Again, so a simple idea was really just sharing how thought leadership could really help him get better ROI on his marketing spend. And then the last thing that I recently did that I think, again, ask yourself, are you doing these simple things for your network? I'm just sharing different examples, but one of my friends, Davin, was telling me he's looking for board of directors so he can go raise money for his company. And I said, hey, Davin, why don't you send me an email kind of telling people a little bit who you are, what you do. He runs an outsourcing company called 123 Employee. And I forwarded 3 strategic introductions for him to very influential, successful business people that could make a huge difference if they were to join his board. So anyway, are your team constantly thinking of others every single day? If you do nothing else, 3 deposits a day of appreciation and 3 deposits a day of value for those in your network, and I guarantee you things will happen a lot faster, whatever goals that you may be trying to hit and achieve. This is Larry Benet. Until we connect again. If I can help you in any way, please let me know how.